Hello again. I'm going to pick up with the concept map method of note-taking using the concept map method. So we have our main topic in a circle in the very center here. And we'll start with our first branch that branches off here from the main topic and go over the qualities of this method. And there are 4 that have been identified here that come off of this branch. So the concept map method uses visuals to understand complex ideas at a glance. It is flexible to move from one idea to another. It's a very graphic method, great for visual learners. And it's good at capturing relationships between ideas. And we can see there's actually another little branch here, so we'll come back to that. I'm going to go over to the left. We have a branch here that comes off. The topic here is to develop a concept map. So how do we do this? And there is a tutorial video in the module provided by Lucidchart. I did use Lucidchart to create this concept map. However, there are other programs out there that can do this. If you like to use Excel, you can use Excel. You can do this by hand, whichever method you want to use. But mainly, there's 2 main ideas here. Number 1, you need to rank ideas from high level or abstract, drill down to more detail. So underneath this, we have some other sub details. Reading assignments can help you to rank ideas. And you can use your syllabus to rank ideas. So this is much like with the outline method, except we're presenting this material in graphic format. Also, when developing a concept map, we will create branches for more detailed info. And underneath that, so what is the more detailed info underneath that? Here, we arrange branches with others that interrelate. So here on the left-hand side of this concept map, we have the main topic underneath the concept map method itself, which is developing a concept map. And then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 branches that come off of that. So all of these branches to the left-hand side are all related to that same topic of developing a concept map. And of course, over to the right where we began, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 branches off of the concept map, which describe the qualities of this method. And so down here, we have our arrow at the bottom. All of these arrows down here towards the bottom are all related to the use of arrows to show relationships. So right down here, we have some examples of relationships, dependence, and cause and effect. And we have some interrelation here between using arrows to show relationships and one of the qualities of this method, which is that it is good at capturing relationships between ideas. So you can see that these 2 are connected. And branching off of this also, we have some examples of different arrows. The double-ended arrow showing interdependence, meaning that one is dependent on the other. They're related. We have a dotted line. How can you use this? Maybe there is a weak relationship here. Maybe the dotted line is indicating something that only relates under certain circumstances, but may not always be the case. And then we have just the single-sided arrow here in yellow demonstrating cause and effect. And there's, it's all based on what the arrow or symbolism means to you. There's not necessarily hard and fast rules, although, I think we pretty instinctually understand what these mean. And then down here, this final arrow is telling us that we can use symbols. So this particular symbol, the yellow circle with the cross inside of it, in this instance indicates or. So you can use arrows, or you can use symbols. You can use shapes. And so we have some shapes down here: the little thought bubble, the little diamond, the heart. You can draw exclamation point, happy face. You can be as creative as you like. And so again, it's great for visual learners. And it's great if your professor hops around from one idea to another very quickly. And you may just find that it's something that maybe, and it will take practice. Everything takes practice. And oh, we do have one arrow up here at the top, which again just reiterates that during your review you want to take your notes and summarize your notes in 1 to 2 paragraphs as part of your review. Just as we said with the list method and the outline method. So basically this method, it will take some practice. If you don't feel like it's something you can do quickly in the classroom, but you like to use visual cues, you can use this method during review. You can take your notes and transcribe it into a concept map, which actually is great. It's a great way to process the information because you really have to think about it to determine how to represent the material in a graphic format that is going to make sense to you. Kind of like I did with this concept map. I actually had a lot of fun with it. So if you've never used this method before, I hope you have fun experimenting with it. And we are going to move on to the Cornell method. Using the Cornell method. Okay, so the Cornell method is characterized by 4 different boxes. So the very top box is your header. So it's going to have information like what's the topic for today. The topic for today is the Cornell method of note-taking. You can put the date of the lecture. You can put the class, Counseling 20. You can put page number if you are going to have multiple pages. So any identifying information is going to go in this top heading box. You're going to have 2 boxes in the middle. The box to the right is going to be the largest box because it's going to have the bulk of your notes. And then the box to the left is going to have some key concepts, phrases, or ideas or topics. So you're going to have the larger, more abstract ideas in this left box, and then you're going to have some more detailed information about those larger topics in the large box on the right hand side. And then here at the bottom you're going to have your summary. So it has your review built into it because it has the little box at the bottom that is meant for you to write your summary paragraph. So you may not use it during class, but you will use it during review after class. So let's take a look at the information that we have here. I'm just going to make this a little bit bigger so it's easier to see. And so let's look at our left-hand box at some of our big topics. Walter Pauck, a Cornell University professor. Most recommended by colleges. Specific format of 4 boxes. Header, narrow left column, the Q or recall column, which is the column I'm reading right now. The wide right column, those are your notes. You can use any note-taking method in this box. So I've actually used the outline method in the wide right column for our notes. And then you have your footer, your summary. And also it states here that it works well with index cards. So if you like to do index cards as flashcards, the Cornell method actually lends itself to that very well. Okay, so let's look at our notes panel. The Cornell method of note-taking is our first main topic, and we have 3 subheadings underneath it. So it was developed in the 1950s by Professor Walter Paulk at Cornell University. So that's our main topic in the Q column. It is recommended by most colleges for usefulness and flexibility. Again, most recommended by colleges in the Q column. And it's a simple method for capturing notes and prioritizing. Number 2, it follows a specific format consisting of 4 boxes. The first is the header. This contains identification information like the course name, date, and topic. B, there is a narrow column on the left. And so what do we have to say about that narrow column on the left? It should be no more than 1/3 of the page, so in terms of size. It is called the Q or recall column. It contains main ideas, keywords, questions, if you have them, or clarifications, etc. And it is used during class and when reviewing notes. So, and it can even be a very quick reference. So let me look at this page. What kind of topics would I expect to see notes on? Oh, here's my Q column. These are the main topics. All right. Letter C. There is a wide column to the right, and that is the column that I'm reading right now. This is called the Notes column. It takes up most of the page, so it is the largest box on the page in the Cornell method of note-taking. It is used to capture your notes, and you can use any note-taking method or combination of methods in the notes column. So if you want to use the list method, the outline method, you want to draw a concept map, that might not lend itself too well to this because you have a small amount of space. But yeah, or you could use any combinations. If you want to draw symbols, have thought bubbles, have outline, have a list over here, go crazy with it. And letter D, a footer. So the sub-ideas underneath that, let's describe the footer. This contains your summary of the class. Use your own words. So you've written down your notes, and probably in large part they're going to be using the words of your instructor. So when you're writing your summary, you want to paraphrase and use your own words. And this helps you to make sense of your notes, to process, synthesize, integrate the material, and it helps to strengthen your recall of the material. And now, so this was all under our second header, Roman numeral 2, where we're talking about the format. Now, our final Roman numeral 3, using index cards for the Cornell method. So this works well with the Cornell method. You will use a lined side of your index card to write your class notes. You want to use 1 card per key concept. So say, for example, the wide right column, the notes column, that could be 1 index card, and then on the other side of that index card where it's lined, you'll write any notes that you have about the wide right column or the notes column, just like I've put here under Roman numeral 2, capital letter C. Okay, and the unlined side becomes the Q column. So you can use this after class to write keywords, comments, or questions. And when you study later, they become flashcards. So you should have just a stack of flashcards. Each flashcard will be 1 topic. That would be your Q column, and on the opposite side will be your notes about that particular topic. And you can even have 1 card as your summary card as well. And so let's read the summary. The Cornell method is a flexible and useful tool. It's most recommended by colleges. It has a specific format that has 4 boxes, a header, a narrow left column,